Hey, today I'll teach you the 39 signs of a narcissist. Dating a narcissist is a nightmare, and you can avoid it if you know how to spot them. They might disguise their dysfunction well initially, covering up with charm or cloning your identity or love bombing with a hyper focus on you, this intense admiration, and talking about the future very soon. Let's look at the 9 official traits used to diagnose narcissistic personality disorder, and then we'll jump into some of these in more detail, and finally we'll look at the 39 red flags that you should look out for whether you're dealing with a narcissist. So these will be really important for you to learn. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and turn on notification to receive any new videos. Let's get started. The 9 official traits to diagnose somebody with narcissistic personality disorder are 1. Grandiose sense of self-importance. 2. Preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. 3. They believe that they are special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high-status people or institutions. 4. Need for excessive admiration. 5. Sense of entitlement. 6. Interpersonally exploitative behavior of other people. 7. Lack of empathy. 8. Envy of others or a belief that others are envious of them. 9. Demonstration of arrogance and bad behavior and attitudes towards other people. They want to appear superior to others, and they just can't see win-win. They only perceive win-lose. And the core of narcissism really is, as we said, grandiose sense of self-importance. Grandiosity is the defining characteristics really of narcissism. More than just arrogance or vanity, grandiosity is an unrealistic sense of superiority. Narcissists believe that they are unique or special and can only be understood by other special people. What's more, they're too good for anything average or ordinary. They only want to associate or be associated with other high-status people, places, and things. Narcissists also believe that they're better than everybody else and expect recognition as such, even when they've done nothing to earn it. They will often exaggerate or outright lie about their achievements and talents. And when they talk about work or relationships, all you hear is how much they contribute, how great they are, and how lucky the people in their lives are to have them. They are the undisputed star, and everyone else is at best a part-time player in their fantasy world. Since reality doesn't really support their grandiosity view of themselves, narcissists live in a fantasy world propped up by distortion, self-deception, and magical thinking and lies. They spin self-glorifying fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, attractiveness, and ideal love that make them feel special and in control. These fantasies protect them from feeling of inner emptiness and shame, so facts and opinions that contradict them are ignored, rationalized away, or attacked. Anything that threatens to burst that fantasy bubble is met with extreme defensiveness and even rage, so those around a narcissist learn to tread carefully around their denial of reality. Needs of constant praise and admiration is the next big one. A narcissist's sense of superiority is like a balloon that gradually loses air without a steady stream of applause and recognition to keep it inflated. It's what we call narcissistic supply. The occasional compliment is not enough for them. Narcissists need constant food for their ego. So they surround themselves with people willing to satisfy their obsessive craving for affirmation. These relationships are often very one-sided. It's all about what the admirer can do for the narcissist, never the other way around. And if there's ever an interruption or diminishment in their admired attention and praise, the narcissist, will treat it as betrayal, and rage and withdrawal will probably follow quickly. So that follow on to the next one, the sense of entitlement of the narcissist. Because they consider themselves special, narcissists expect favorable treatment. They genuinely believe that whatever they want, they should get. They also expect the people around them to comply with their every wish and whim automatically. If you don't anticipate and meet their every need, you can expect anger in response. And if you have the nerve to defy their will or selfishly ask for something in return that maybe you need, prepare yourself for aggression, outrage, or the cold shoulder. They feel entitled to skip the queue, get the best seat, be served before others, or grab women by the, I'm not going to say the word. They feel they deserve special treatment because they're superior and special in their fantasy world. They feel everyone should comply with their demands, no matter how unreasonable or unrealistic they are, and they get very upset or angry if you don't comply. Imagine an insecure, emotionally unregulated, spoiled child. That's a narcissist. They complain if they have not been given this special treatment. Everyone should accommodate them, and rules do not really apply to them. They become angry if they are not treated special and their needs are not met. Look for how they act when dealing with service staff like restaurant, flight attendants, or hotel check-ins. Are they unpleasant to staff? Are they complaining about not getting special treatment? You likely feel embarrassed by their behavior sometimes, They expect you to go along with their needs and wants and desires and really get angry if you don't always comply. Their slogan is, "My way or the highway." They can also appear snobbish, put down those they don't feel dress as well, as successful as them, drive a cheaper car than them. They put others down to make themselves feel superior. They're really the typical schoolyard bully. They dismiss or ignore people they see as below them, and that helps them feel more superior again. See how they respond if you question their achievements, disagree with them, or say no to something they want. If they respond with anger, blame, put downs, then it's a big warning sign. Let's look at exploit others without guilt or shame, which is a typical sign too. Narcissists never, develop the ability to identify with the feelings of others, to put themselves in other people's shoes. So, in other words, they lack empathy. In many ways, they view the people in their lives as objects. They're there to serve their needs. Consequently, they don't think twice about taking advantage of others to achieve their own needs or meets end. Sometimes this interpersonal exploitation is malicious, but often it's simply oblivious. Narcissists simply don't think about how their behavior affects others, and if you point it out, they still won't truly get it. The only thing they understand is their own needs. Frequently demeaning, intimidate, bullies, or belittling others is also common of the narcissist. The narcissists feel threatened whenever they encounter someone who appear to have something they lack, especially those who are confident and popular. They are also threatened by people who criticize, disagree, or challenge them in any way. Their defense mechanism is contempt. The only way to neutralize a threat and prompt up their, fragile ego is to put those other people down. They may do it contentiously or discriminately to demonstrate how little the other person means to them, or they may go on an attack with insults, name-calling, bullying, and threats to force the other person back into line. Like the other cluster B personality disorders, they can seem very charming at first, and still, they have this traumatizing insecurity, meaning they must maintain that false sense of being superior to others. They see the world as winners and losers. There is no win-win for them, which is why they take advantage of others and use and discard people when they are no longer deemed useful. They demand this constant attention and validation to sustain their false reality of superiority, and so they must put others down to feel good about themselves. If you don't validate their vanity and inflate their sense of self, they will really attack you and have no empathy towards those they attack. They will do anything to look good and avoid blame, which means sacrificing you and ruining your career, business, or life. They lie, manipulate, and even harm others. Everything is fair game to maintain their sense of being superior and important. They are the ultimate manifestation of insecurity covered up by trying to portray the opposite image of being strong, significant, superior to others, and special. They also tend to operate in powerful positions as it makes them feel special and above others. They never apologize for their destructive behavior unless it's to manipulate you and get something from you. They will try to make you feel bad about your reactions to their abuse. It's always other people's fault in their world. To a narcissist, you're just a supply they use to achieve something, often validation. When a new supply shiny object comes along, they will discard you. They overinflate their achievements to feel special and better than others. They like to brag and they can't recognize their own mistakes or weaknesses. Let's look at this one, lack of empathy. They're really self-centered and focus on their own needs without regard to the impact on others. They show no care about other people's needs and always prioritize themselves. They disregard others' distress and are unable or unwilling to offer any support. They often blame and criticize their distressed partner for how the distress impacts them and what they want. Instead of supporting you when you're distressed, they will blame and attack you for ruining their day or evening. It's all about them. You'll feel unseen, unheard, unsupported, and emotionally alone. When they hurt you, there will be no acknowledgement of the harm that they caused, and they will often find a way to blame you for their behavior. Think about a hyper insecure and spoiled child that throws a lot of tantrums. Again, that's a narcissist. The schoolyard bully who blames someone else when they get caught. They talk about themselves a lot without any regards to how the other is feeling. They're just not that interested when you share about your life. A typical experience with a narcissist is that you listen to their problems for a long time, often with sympathy, and try to help them. When you start sharing your stories, they either cut you off or make it about them, and they tune out, they yawn, they check their phone, they look around or do something else. Their attention is gone when it's no longer about them. Let's look at the next one. Self-importance and superiority. Boasting and bragging about themselves and how liked and popular they are. I'm so much better, more intelligent than everybody else. Such statements are a significant warning sign. They really exaggerate their accomplishment, their talents, and their popularity. If they did not accomplish much yet, they will talk about their great potential or blame their lack of success on everybody else and be the victim. They will talk about how they know X, Y, and Z important people, hoping you'll be impressed and prove a fix of validation. They believe their existence is more important than others. They want credit for everything and recognition. They often take credit for other people's accomplishments too. If they had any perceived success, you can be sure they'll boast and brag about these achievements, their wealth, etc. Their bragging might be accurate, but most often it's a lie or exaggerated. They cannot admit defeat. Trump is a perfect example of that. He boasted about people coming to his inauguration, how many people came, which was a lie. He took credit for the coronavirus treatment and vaccine, which again was other people's work. He constantly said no one had ever done better than him and the economy has never been better. Again, that was a lie. He claimed he had won the election in 2020. He lied and again can't acknowledge defeat. 5. He would still boast about his wealth and popularity and make up facts to boost about his achievements. The perfect example of a narcissist is the full display and their high, intense, dysregulated emotions, constant drama and conflict. They lash out at anyone disagreeing with them like a bully, no regard for the harm their action causes others. They will talk about all these things that they will achieve. Most of it never happens because they're dreamers. They will throw anybody under the bus that does not validate their fantasy and lies and sense of importance and superiority. If you dare challenge them, you become the object of their anger and blame. They belittle anyone they see as competition. They will disregard you, long-term friends, family in a heartbeat if they meet someone they think can further their objective of success, wealth, or superiority. Let's look at rage. Rage is this uncontrolled and uninhibited anger. Narcissists will typically fly into rage when they feel you don't accommodate their needs, disagree with them, prioritize yourself, or pull them up on their lies or fantasies. Anything that endangers their fragile sense of self and makes them feel inferior or challenge their fantasy that they're superior will often result in an outburst of anger. They use rage because they lack emotional regulation and control, and ensure the focus is on their needs and you don't dare to challenge their lies and sense of superiority. You'll feel anxious and like you're walking on eggshells around this person. The apparent rage is often hidden in the beginning of the dating experience, so look for subtle signs such as how do they drive? Do they cut others off? Never let others in the queue? Do they drive aggressively? Is he or she hostile towards service staff? Do you see any signs of aggression or hostility towards other people? Early in the dating experience is more likely to show up towards others as they are in their best behavior for you. Let's look at the next one, constant validation. It's why they boast and brag. They select and try and create the perfect picture for social media. Narcissists often spend significant time on social media to get their validation. It's easy to cultivate a false image there that people praise and compliment. A narcissist can never give you that essence of an adult relationship, which is mutuality. It will always be all about their needs and it will never be about you. Validation is like oxygen for the narcissist. Let's look at the 39 signs of a narcissist and warnings to look out for. You're going to learn how to spot the wolf in sheep's clothes. So here are the 39 signs of a narcissist. 1. They boast and brag about how great and superior they are. They talk about their accomplishment a lot and boast about themselves. 2. They put people down or attack those that don't agree with them. 3. They're emotionally unstable, intense, and impulsive. 4. They disregard people they can't use. 5. They have a high level of conflict with people. 6. They lack empathy and are fine putting other people in harm's way. 7. They see themselves as significantly superior to everyone else. 8. They feel entitled to special treatment and get upset or angry when special treatment is not given. 9. They think rules don't apply to them, so they ignore or break rules. 10. They blame others for everything that does not go well. 11. They don't respect your boundaries and get angry when you say no. 12. They can't take any criticism and will typically result in rage or silent treatment or belittling of you if you do. 13. They lie, but when exposed, they do not admit it. They deny and they blame shift. 14. They have an us versus them attitude. 15. There's a lack of mutuality. Their relationships are all focused on what others can offer them. 16. They seem cold and not present or like they don't care about you when you express your emotions or talk about you. 17. They take credit for things they did not do and overstate their achievements. 18. They're unable to see the perspective of others, so don't admit fault or mistakes or apologize. 19. They become intensely angry very quickly, and it's related to them not getting what they want, you disagreeing or criticizing them. 20. They always make it about them. If you had a bad day, they will blame you for making them feel bad. If you share something, they make it about themselves. 21. They need constant admiration from others and care deeply about their image and achievements. 22. They're hypersensitive to feedback and criticism and become defensive, angry, or hostile in response. 23. They dismiss, belittle, or get jealous or upset when you share your success. 24. They attack and hurt other people's feelings and do not seem to care. There's no regret, guilt, or shame. 25. They want to be perceived as the best and being better than others. 26. They lie and hide info and give inconsistent explanation. 27. When they hurt you or you pull them up on something, they turn it around and try to make you feel that you did something wrong, also called gaslighting. 28. They always want more and get to the top. They will stop at nothing to get there. 29. They don't seem to care about your distress. 30. They disacknowledge your views and emotions and turn issue around to be about you and make you doubt your own experience. 31. They never take responsibility and blame others for issues and conflicts. 32. Their appearance and how the world perceives them are extremely important to them. 33. Their moods and behaviors are extremely unstable. As a result, you feel anxious about what is coming next. 34. They enjoy seeing others fail. 35. They seek revenge on those that upset them. 36. They find it challenging to spend time alone. 37. Does he tune out when you are talking, looking at his phone, or seem distracted and disengaged? 39. They show no regret when harming others. 39, here. They tend to mistreat service staff if not giving special treatment. Remember, it's about how many of these traits, how frequent and how intensely they show up. Because your partner boasts a little bit about the new job promotion does not mean that he is a narcissist. It's when you see many of these traits showing up repeatedly and very intensely, and it fit the 90-10% rule. So ask yourself, would 90% of people act the way in this context? If the answer is no, then be aware. And your best defense is to slow down and be alert if things are moving too fast and are too intense too quickly. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive my new videos. Also check out my other social media profiles, and if you want the free guide to heal from toxic breakups or relationship, or join the free webinar where I will teach you how to spot the top 5 red flags and manipulation strategies, then check the link in the description below. I also have been working hard on a toxic relationship and breakup healing program, and it's a massive 36 video teaching you everything you need to know how to heal and turn your pain into joy and never end up in a toxic relationship again. The link is in the description below. I release a new YouTube video every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, so stay tuned and I'll see you next week.